So basically, we come from a position that we belong to the same ideological family. So we have goodwill for each other. We believe that the party must win. We are the people who have seen the worst of the days. We have seen in Bharatiya Janasangh to get 500 votes, we would be celebrating. When if deposit was not lost, we would be celebrating. From there on, we have seen 84 also. We have seen the struggle of BJP leaders who brought it to this position. Sangh work, which came to a level where it became a humongous movement in 2014. Having seen that, we of course want this to continue. So as a part of the ideological family, we wish that whatever shortcomings have got into BJP organization structure, they should be removed. So basically, this article comes from the urge to make BJP recover the ground in the sense at the organization level. See, voting, you might get more, you might get less, but it should not happen because of a lacking in the organization. So as a well-wisher, this article is written.
Is it targeted towards Prime Minister Modi or his leadership or the BJP cadre as a whole?
No, it is targeted towards not Modi ji at all, because we know we couldn't have a better Prime Minister. We know that we couldn't have a better campaigner who would really take India to the typical civilizational understanding which was missing. And what RSS worked for 90 years, Modi ji has put it on ground in a good way. It is about the leadership or the middle level leadership, the local leadership, not the cadre, who have somehow got into a mood that we can always win, because many of them have seen only success. There is a whole generation which has seen 2014 onwards always a success. They do not know the trial and travails of cadre, the workers, the pracharaks who have put entire lives work, their own health, and they work very hard. So not having seen that, they believe everything is always green, everything is always wonderful, which is not so. So they believe that Modi ji is being so powerful, anything we can win, and we can just go to social media, give some pictures, give some jokes or posters, whatever, and we can win. That is not true, because ultimately Modi ji can create that atmosphere. He can pull people into the fold, but they have to go to vote. So when you come to election, the famed machine of BJP which got people out had got weakened. This is a practical example. I don't have to give my example. You may be aware where many places the tables were not put in place, the lists were never shared, and many other things. So we knew somewhere things are not going wrong, because I have been meeting people all over India because of my travels. So I would one of the places somebody said problem है, लेकिन बीजेपी वालों को लगता है संघ वाले तो क्या मर खप के हमको जिताएंगे ही. So this attitude, and I am talking a very normal karyakarta in one of the cities of India. So if that is the feeling, then there is a problem. Then also everything is hunky-dory. So if you see the kind of fake videos which made places, SC, ST, so BJP lost about 9 to 10% votes, lost about 34 seats. Congress gained 53 seats from that rumor and fake videos. If that is happening, then what are the cadre doing on the ground? So it was very comfortable कि मोदी जी जिता ही देंगे, which is not right. And the middle level leaders who believe that कुछ भी किया तो चलेगा. Then the kind of candidate selection. So you have 25% defectors who got tickets. So it is not me or RSS or BJP who has to do anything. Voters have not supported them. I raised this issue that Karyakartas need to be sensitive to their people on the ground. So this feedback mechanism that something is going wrong, when these rumor mills were going on, videos were being moved around UP, where was my Karyakarta? If he was there, why didn't put the feedback back to the top leadership? Why they let people feel that everything is fine? So this is where the problem is, because of this lack of understanding on the ground, and believing they have photo dal denge, selfie worker I call them. You put a photograph someday with one worker, another with a leader, put it 10 places in social media, I believe I have done my job. No, that's not true. As I keep saying, social media is not society. Those people who have millions of followers get thousands of votes. Yes, so many examples. So ultimately, people on the road, people on the street will never be replaced by people on the social media. This lesson is to go through. Then, as I noted, that when you give tickets to those who called RSS ki sazish, like Kripa Shankar Singh or RK Singh, who as a IS officer said that RSS is a terrorist organization, when they join BJP, do they express regret? No. If they said, okay, we made a mistake, then people or the volunteers on the ground would work. Otherwise, why would they support them? So these are things which I try to bring out.
So do you think this also comes from the fact, like you mentioned, that since 2014 there is a BJP wave? Uh, was there a disconnect into the real wave and what the actual problems of people were on the ground, and BJP is understanding that as well?
I would say that probably this the people, the workers, in the happiness or complacency, believe that all these things are very small. Probably they did not talk to the people what the real pains were, and that is again where I come back that this two-way communication or trying to understand issues in your own locality have to be understood. Modi ji may be overpowering figure, that's why BJP still survived, but ultimately what people feel. For example, when I said arrogance, I mean you change a candidate from a particular place when person has done a good job, he's removed, another person brought in for reasons unknown. There is no even explanation. So the leaders need to explain why did you change the candidate. So the workers can go to the people, say why they changed the candidate. So believe that kisko bhi khada kiya jeetega. That doesn't work. I talked about the change in constitution.
Okay.
I talked about caste reservation to be removed.
As I've said, sir, that we need 400 से ऊपर की majority हमको चाहिए क्योंकि हम.
See what happens again. 400 par. I believe from day one it is Modi ji. So for Modi ji to challenge the cadre that we have to rise beyond this what you have done. I never believe 400 par will happen. I'm telling very frankly. I've said it in YouTube before the result came, and I think on TV also. And other is that this 400 par was also a challenge to opposition. So opposition was half the time initially in all the stages fighting 400, saying 400 nahi milega, 400 nahi milega. So they considered the victory of BJP. Beyond that, so that is one thing where you claim that you will reach certain figure, which is not fake narrative, which is a challenge, which is a call. But Cater took it otherwise. They said, आने वाले ही हैं, जीतने वाले हैं. So voters didn't go saying, oh, they जीतेंगे. Typical core base of BJP workers also.
Himself was saying till the last day that 400 par to हमारे हो गए.
So how will somebody change the story halfway?
Right.
They can't. But if you see some of the graphs that how the voting changed, how the candidates, the election went around, that's later stage. But to believe, the cadre should believe that what Modi has done to ask you to work hard to reach there. It will not happen because Modi said it. Atmosphere as such. There are so many factors, but I am not getting into that. I am just saying atmosphere is such that people should believe, workers should work to bring people out to say, भाई ऐसे नहीं आएंगे. In fact, in one of the tweet I said, ओपिनियन पोल बोलता है लेकिन ओपिनियन पे वोटिंग नहीं है, आपको वोट करने जाना पड़ेगा. So that effort, last mile effort is where things went wrong. And I give an example in other places also where I have gone out of way to call senior leaders, junior leaders saying बाबा क्या करना है मेरे यहाँ, कौन कैंडिडेट है, अभी आ गया अब क्या करना है. There was no response. So where is this lack of coordination when BJP local leader or state city level or state level leader don't feel the need to respond, then how does it work? Right? So that has happened in many places, not just Mumbai. So I just illustrated that, though that if that is called lack of coordination, yes, that definitely there was. But as I said, that was the duty of BJP leaders to reach out and say, "Ba, हमको हमारी मदद करो." जहाँ बोला वहाँ किया ना. केरल में coordination was tremendous. In Karnataka was tremendous. Volunteers went out irrespective of which organization was there, what was there, because they had a different level of work there.
Right.
So same thing happened in Tamil Nadu. Everybody came out. But where you are already in a good position, parties in a damn good position, number of people, workers and all that, if they are already working and they don't reach out to the local people to help them, then how will they help?
Right.
That's what I meant.
Naddaji's statement that BJP is now capable to take its own decisions and does not need Sangh. But when statements like this are made, how does it seem from the Sangh side? That
see what he said, I have said earlier as a Sangha person that, and I have written also in my books that each organization has to create its own cadre, its own members, and that is why VHP is huge mass organization. Ekal Vidyalaya has a huge number of people. Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, all of them are huge organizations with huge subscription, huge membership. So they are supposed to work like that. BJP is also supposed to work like that. In fact, in Nalin Mehta's book, he says that BJP is now bigger than RSS. At that time, I had noted that RSS cadre is different. It comes on ground every day. It has certain, duty to do something every day. BJP, for example, 11 crore workers, members have come in missed call. Out of those 11 crore missed call members, maybe 1 or 2 crore will be very active, other will be very good sympathizer, they might come on meetings, etc. So there is a difference in the two memberships, but still I would say that BJP needs its own cadre. We always used to say that you cannot say that BJP RSS लोग काम करेंगे, जरूरत नहीं है cadre की. It's not though, because larger the number, more the contact. So I would have said the same thing. It was the timing, because the media will definitely pick up something. Now today you are picking up my article. If I had written the article 1 month back, I would have been called something else. Had written it 1 month later, I would not be even called, discuss this. So there is a timing. So Nadaji said was very fine, but it was not said at the right moment. It was not explained in a fine way, diplomatic way. So normal karyakarta of a Sangh who reads only newspaper, has not seen his interview, he would definitely surmise कि उनको हमारी जरूरत नहीं है. So that messaging was wrong, mistakenly not explained properly. Maybe it needed a little more supporting argument, saying that but we are one family, etc., we support each other, something like that. He is a president of BJP. I am not a very small worker, but as a very normal worker on the road who reads newspaper or only social media, he will feel that क्या हमारी जरूरत नहीं है, हम क्यों काम करें. So it was not intentional. I would not blame him at all for what he said, because this is what I also believe, that BJP has to do its own work, like I explained earlier also. But messaging at the wrong time, like somebody says something which at the time of election suddenly becomes critical. How you pick up one sentence, we know. I mean, I'm in media long enough to how one sentence can be twisted. I said it needed more finesse, or it need not be spoken at that particular time when everybody is in the field, nobody has. See, today attention span is very small. You pick up one sentence, that becomes a whole story, your mood changes. You don't read even a para. So somebody, Indian Express has picked up one sentence from my report and says इसने ऐसा बोला. So immediately that becomes a talk. Mohanji talks for 35 minutes and he just pick up कि मणिपुर में काम नहीं हुआ. That is not the only message. He said that BJP has done wonderful work for the social life for last 10 years. He also said that negative propaganda and this kind of hate is not correct. We must temper ourselves. उसमें एक ही उठाया. तो it's normal that what he said, either the timing can be wrong.
Does BJP need RSS at this point of time or no? What's your own?
As nationalist forces, as people who believe in this wonderful geo-cultural entity of the nation, which is ancient, which is perennial, vis-a-vis those who believe that ये nation था ही नहीं. 14, 15, 16 nations have been brought together by force to create a union of states or federation. This is that fight. So to assert that this is one nation, one geo-cultural entity which is there for nearly 10,000 years documented history, this has to be enforced, because that is the only way India will remain one. For that we all need each other. We need every small or big organization who will carry on this idea and even explain the idea. It has taken 90 years for RSS to come to a stage where people start believing in this, the cultural nation node, where you believe, yes, my nation is ancient, my nation is wonderful, one different culture, but everybody actually the same culture expressed differently. Bhinnata mein ekta, everybody says, but has anybody explained what it is? No. After Modi ji, people have started understanding. So suddenly you realize, oh, Tamil बहुत strong थे Kashi में. You suddenly realize Andhrites are very strong about Ganga and all. You see Bengal is going to Amarnath. So these things are already there. They come out when you have the right atmosphere. So that atmosphere has taken time to build up. So naturally, all the forces who believe that should come together. So it's not just BJP. I say, why not any other organization?
So Sangh has created that conducive environment in which BJP was able to encash its.
It also worked. For example, Advani ji became a force because he fought for Ram Mandir. He talked about Ram Mandir's cultural nationhood. It caught the idea because Advani ji raised the profile of that particular movement.
Right.
But yes, the base remains that you try to raise the basic consciousness to people of the country who come to a level, they say what Sangh says is right.
Sangh and BJP.
There is no rift. As I said, there is a gap when, at the right time, the organizations, one set of organization doesn't reach out to others. There are BJP leaders who still come to Shakha regularly. There are others who don't come. But when the need comes, they meet each other. There is no gap, but of course there is a political side, and there is as I said, there are people who have just joined 10 years back, सब बढ़िया दिख रहा है, तो उनको लगता है हम तो बढ़िया चल रहे हैं, जरूरत ही नहीं हमको. This is not the first time. 2004, you remember, if you are there for a long time, Pradhan Agency felt that we can work without RSS. But it didn't work out, and we paid a heavy price. So if somebody believes कि एक के बिना चलता है तो गड़बड़ है.
Right.
Otherwise तो ठीक है, अपने अपने क्षेत्र में काम करना है. We can also tell what to do to BJP, and whether they agree or not is their job, because They are on the political front. I can very grandly say, मुझे आज का ये law चाहिए. But BJP has to calibrate how it happens. So we know that.
Right.
We appreciate that.
Right.
But definitely we will keep on saying, भैया ये रह गया आपको करना है, because political field का काम है. But we also know that it's up to BJP to implement a certain idea, certain time, because it is their field.
Right. But do you think there will be a point where personally as well these will be conveyed to the BJP leadership?
On whether you win or do not win. I would have written the same article even if we had won.
Okay.
In fact, I believe that it's very fortunate for BJP that people have given it a shock, which is bearable. They've still won the elections, and these shortcomings or these, deviations from the standard BJP style of working will be taken care of. And BJP has always evolved. BJP has always taken challenges on its head and reworked itself, reinvented itself. And I'm very sure they will also reinvent in this case. For example, in 1984, when BJP was formed, they talked of Gandhian socialism. It was an experiment, a new kind of approach. And Sangh and old BJP people got very upset. They said, what is happening? ये कहाँ से Gandhian socialism क्या word है, क्या है, क्या नहीं है. In fact, Rajmata Scindia, she spoke against on the platform itself. So some people approached Bala Saheb Devras. Bala Saheb Devras said, see, they are working in politics, they are our own people, and they know what they are saying. Let them experiment, because it's their field, it's not our field. And then he said, 2-3 साल में हिंदुत्व पे वापस आ जाएंगे. And he never said anything to BJP people, and they turned around, and what Advani ji had came back to Ram Mandir, etc., etc. The entire scenario changed. So उनका फील्ड उनको काम करने दो. संघ believes that. And जहाँ कमी लगती है वहाँ बताओ, वो भी उनको पता है. हम प्राइवेटली बताते हैं. अभी प्राइवेटली जैसे मैंने कहा, इसमें आर्टिकल में लिखा है, when you would tell somebody कि भाई कुछ ठीक नहीं लग रहा है, या you criticize or you raise a certain point, they would say, शारदा जी बहुत sensitive आप, सब ठीक है, सब बढ़िया चल रहा है. This is the problem.
At some point we will have to talk about succession post Modi era as well.
See, when Vajpayee was there, you thought he was irreplaceable. When Indira Gandhi was there, you thought क्या होगा. When Nehru was there, who after Nehru? When RSS, when Guruji, was about to, because we knew he was going to, this cancer would take away his life. Who next? Things went on. See, humanity, the world does not like vacuum, so vacuum will be filled. And at least in RSS, BJP, same kind of people, better kind of people come. When Advani was fighting election and we wanted a new leadership, it was cadre, it was people who brought Modi ji up. He was not in the picture. There are Jotli, there are Sushma Swaraj. These are the people who were actually in the race. But Modi ji rose. You didn't believe. They tried to stop him in every possible way. Congress had hundreds of cases against him, treated worse. So there is enough talent in BJP. Who thought about Annamalai? Who thought of Himanta Biswa Sarma? Yogi, how they will rise.
Right.
So they have talent, a whole pool of talent. When time comes, that will come on its own.
Right.
RSS doesn't have to think about that.
Right.
When Modi ji feels, he comes from Pracharak Parampara. If he feels he's not healthy enough, he's not now doesn't have that energy, he himself will hand over. I'm very sure of that. I'm very sure that when he feels he's not fully fit, he will be hand over the baton.
Right.
In RSS, we have the tradition of Sarsangachalak giving up his post when he feels he's not doing well in terms of health or something. So it does that.
And of course, Sangh itself has grown a lot since 2014. And somewhere this persona, the personality of Prime Minister Modi is, pointed out or held responsible for this tremendous growth of the Sangh party as well as the ideology. How does RSS also view, or rather, how do you think this Samanvay happens with Modi ji at the top? Is he really involved?
See, first of all, give credit where is due. We give credit to Modi ji where it is due, but the growth of RSS is not dependent on one person. His arrival definitely made RSS, kind of say to you students, were a kind of sexy organization where people would like to join. But RSS had started growing when saffron terror became the real word, because I've been studying. I started writing my first book when this it was released when saffron terror was the top of the time. Then internet came. So I've seen this search for knowing RSS better, joining RSS after 2007-8, when people said, what is RSS? Why it is being abused so much? What is Hindu terror? So at that time, they had already started rising. And it rose at the top by the time Modi ji came in, and it was I would say, pressure of the cadre that brought Modi ji to the top. and this historic moment when Modi ji was the right person at the right place. So having said that, RSS has grown in the worst kind of opposition. It has grown in Kerala, it has grown all over India, even after partition, when it was at the peak of its strength. It was badgered, it was persecuted, it was forcefully tried to be oppressed. It again rose because the movement is totally grassroots. It is totally rooted to Indian tradition and culture. So Bharatiyata of this entire idea will keep, and the sacrifice of the people keep on giving RSS that very important energy to rise. Modi ji definitely helped, but it is not due to Modi ji. As I said, it became a glamorized version. People said, "हमको भी देखना RSS में था." Many people came thought thinking that RSS is the route to BJP. I know that because I worked on field. They came, they thought, "यार ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं." So some people managed to get into BJP. Some people left. Some people worked in RSS. A lot of new cadre which has come at adulthood via this internet to join RSS. So this is a combined, the work of life. I would say 90 years before 2014 arose, and also this social media, internet, and also a lot of spread of RSS viewpoint, and also clear understanding. भैया हम देश हैं. We are not something that was made by British. As internet knowledge spread, as RSS viewpoint spread, people realize this.
Right.
So all this combined have brought these things to a certain stage. So tomorrow, suppose Modi ji was next, Advani ji was that, still RSS would have been there.
Right.
As I said, glamorization happened because of Modi ji, definitely. But when you come to Shaka, there is no Modi in the Shaka, no?
That's true. But we
so it's a boring work. I go there in the morning, 12 people are playing, 15 people are playing, and they go back talking and laughing and having geet and all that. There is no Modi ji there. People know. So those people who come with an idea कि मोदी जी हर शाखा में होंगे, हमको भी ऐसा ग्लैमर मिलेगा, नहीं मिलता तो चले जाते हैं. But RSS keeps on growing.
Right.
So the real work on the ground is very boring. It is very consistent. You require a lot of consistency, a lot of continuity, which will not happen which will happen whether Modi ji is there or not. So if Modi ji is there, people who believe Modi ji शाखा में मिलेंगे और उनके कारण में कुछ बन जाएगा, छोड़ भी देते हैं. वो लोग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं बनाते. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाना ऑर्डिनरी लोगों का काम है. आई कोट मेनी टाइम्स फ्रॉम गुड टू ग्रेट. देयर इज अ बुक वेयर ही सेज दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बिल्ड बाय नॉर्मल पीपल, not very high flying geniuses. It is the consistency of the work that makes an organization. That is where RSS wins.